4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, good evening. It is another Thursday evening, and I just want to say welcome each and every one, wherever you are connecting from. Welcome once more to Track and Field Business on HP Chat Track. And this evening with me, I have some outstanding ladies who have been giving to track and field and continue to give to track and field. Ladies, welcome. Friends of track and field, welcome. Olympians, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get into the meat of the matter now. But before we get into the real conversation, I'm going to ask each person to just introduce themselves, your name, the event that you did, if you did sport, the parish that you're from, and also anything else that you want to share before we get into the meat of the matter. So I will start with Ruth Williams Simpson, 3 times Olympian, 1976, 1972, 1976, and 1980.
All right. So good evening, fans. I'm from the parish of St. Mary. I always say in a little district called Three Hills, in Western St. Mary, closer to the St. Mary St. Anne border. Um, as Miss Heather just said, I ran in 3 Olympics: 72, 76, and 80. I ran the 400 meters, and I dabbled around with the 200 meters a lot also, but not at the Olympics.
Okay, Miss Lorna, you want to take it away?
Okay, I'm Lorna Clark. I'm from Malden, up in the hills of Maldon in St. James. I went to school in St. James and did my college education in Kingston at the Michael. And that's where I really got involved in sports. And I'm currently still involved in sports from the officiating end.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Miss Vilma Charlton, 3 times Olympians herself, 1964, 1968, and 1972.
Thank you, Heather. Good evening, friends and fans. I ran track and field from high school. I am from St. Catherine, it's Point Hill, which is about 45 minutes from Spanish Town. I went to St. Andrew High School, where I actually broke out as a champion runner. But you know, if you're from the country, you're always running. So everybody used to run in the country. And then from St. Andrew High School, I got a track scholarship to Pepperdine University in Los Angeles, from where I graduated with my bachelor's degree and master's degree. And I've been involved from ever since. When you have people like Herb McKinley, you just can't stop volunteering.
Exactly, exactly. Ladies, with that said, thank you very much. And we're going to get into the meat of the matter now. You ladies have been given to sport for many, many years. Why the need to continue now with this charity entity? Miss Lorna?
Okay, so for me, it's a commitment. I a lot of the connections that I made in my earlier life when I entered track and field when I reached Michael um, have helped me along the way. It's like a journey. And so I made connections that helped me. And I always feel that I should give back I love sports and track and field in particular. Well, not in particular, but I'm more committed to track and field. And I feel that I should give back. You can see the need for many students out there. And I always feel that as long as God allows me to be able to mentally and physically do things, volunteer my time and do things, I must do it. And track and field is one of those things that I have chosen. It's not the only thing that I've chosen, but track and field is one of them that I've given a lot to. and I give it to the officiating side in the most part for the last good number of years.
Auntie Ruth, you competed in track and field for Jamaica in an era where you weren't able to earn from the sport. What is the motivation to want to give back and continue to give back to a sport that you did not really earn from?
Well, it is not, I did not earn cash, but from track and field, I earned 2 degrees. So I went to St. Andrew Technical High School, um, dabbled a little, ran at girls' champs. Then when I went to Michael, my talent showed. And from then, I got a scholarship to go to Texas Women's University, and I got 2 degrees right there. So, and I just feel that, when I was growing up, lots of people in the village helped you out. And, you stood on somebody's shoulder. And so I feel now that it's my time to just give back. There's a lot of need out in our country, Jamaica. Lots of people out in Jamaica drive, have 2 and 3 BMWs, but there are a lot of people out in Jamaica who are needy. And then athletes, athletic is part of my blood. Running is part, and so I just feel that it's now my time to give back, irrespective of, did not get monetary value out of it, but the education that I got, I wouldn't be sitting here where I am tonight, being able to do this.
Indeed. Auntie Vilma, what is your motivation? Because you're from even an earlier era. What is your motivation?
Well, if you are a teacher, you're a volunteer. And both my parents are teachers, and I used to see them work with the poor students, especially when the others could afford lunch. He would make sure that those who could not afford still got to have lunch. And of course, you learn in Sunday school that to whom much is given, much is expected. And so you just go on the journey. And then I had a coach like Herb McKinley. Herb used to give out of what he never had. I think we realized that long after we stopped, that Herb never had any money. In fact, he'd died a pauper. But he was always promising you these things. I'm going to get you this, whether you got it or not. But he had a big heart and he always wanted to help persons. And it gives us joy. Money isn't all. I'm not sure if those who are earning money are happy, but I know that I
True.
am happy because I'm serving, and that's
True.
what we're made for. We're here to serve.
It's funny that you said that about Mr. Herb McKinley because I interviewed Daniel England a few weeks ago, and Mr. McKinley was also his coach in the 80s. And Daniel said, Mr. McKinley give of himself. He did not give you money, but he knows how to get it done. And he would just make a call, and whatever it was, he was able to get it done. Friends of Track and Field, you ladies, your organization is Friends of Track and Field. Tell me about this nonprofit organization, how it come about, whose idea it was, and whatever you want to share about it.
So I'll take this. So the
Sure.
idea, the idea never came from us. We're not going to we're not going to own this idea.
Okay. I like that.
So you know that Japan, the Olympics, Japan in 21, was it
In
21
Tokyo.
in
Yes.
Tokyo? Yes,
Japan,
yes.
yes.
So and while the Olympics was going on and Jamaica was just tearing up the track, people got all excited. And I didn't see the interview, but I heard that there was an athlete who, in an interview, said that she was being sponsored by a supermarket.
Superman.
Right. And so some fans didn't think that, thought that they needed better. So one lady a Canadian lady called Lily and asked her if, we could get together to form some kind of group to help these athletes. And so Lilith, knowing Vilma and I, our personality and our work ethic and knows, she got asked us to form this association. Incidentally, Lilith is a part of it. And so we started, talking about how we should do this. Do you know that the lady that lady, Canadian lady, she dropped out. Well, she never came in when we started, and we decided it's only a small group of us. It's the three of us here tonight, and then there's Lilith, and then
Are
there's
we talking about the great Lilith Hodges?
yes, yes, yes. And so that's how it started. We decided that, you know what, we think it's our turn to give back. And we decided, though, that we were not going to give to elite athletes, that we were going to give to students in high school, and we're going to rural Jamaica. We're not going to take children from like a KC or a Calabar that has a big um, alumni association behind them. So that's how we started. And we started in 20, is it 2022? And
2022.
funds, with funds just from ourselves, from us and our families and a few friends. And we gave support to a student, we're not going to call name, to a student from, is it Steertown Academy? We gave breakfast all of last year. And then there was another student that we sponsored
Bustamante.
from Bustamante with boarding. And so, we decided that we're just going to continue this. And I know, with hard work, it will grow and we'll continue. We see the fruits of it because we see that people, that youngsters to go to school. Some people travel far to go to school, get up. Sometimes they don't even have breakfast. And to get to school, to do well, because you want them to do academically well also, and to leave at the end of school to go to practice, that they need to have nutrition and they need to have a support that they know that every day they will get this. So that's the matter.
How many members do you have? It's Ruth, Dorothy,
Lorna,
Vilma, Lorna,
Lorna, and
and Lilith.
yes, they're
And
from us.
there's somebody from New York. Occasionally she comes in.
Oh, Dorothy's cousin, right
Yes.
now.
Right.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, okay,
That's
okay.
it.
Actually, so this group is a part of the Women's Commission of the J3As. And I am the chairperson of the J3As. So we didn't want to start something new. Yeah, we thought about having this committee, but then, as always, what happens when Ruth and all of us retire? It's going to stop. So we said, let it be a part of the J3s. And so we operate through the Women's Commission, which do feminine things. We do motivational speaking for the athletes, and we have dining etiquette courses for them, things that are girly and for the women. So they are a part, this small group is a part of the Women's Commission. And this is why we're asking the funds to go to the J3s. So even when we are not in charge and people want to give to this project, it is standard. They can
With the
send
women.
it to the J3s through and the Women's Commission will operate the whole funding.
So can I take it that your target audience is girls, women, girls, young ladies, or
Not,
not necessarily?
Not
no,
necessarily. That's
no,
the
no.
women's commission, but for us, we're giving the two persons that we don't we the two students that we helped last year. They're two boys. We're
Okay,
not right.
okay.
It's
But it
just that
just goes
we're
through the
operating.
women's commission of the J3As. And I'm gonna just let me say a little bit more because some people wanted us to like form a foundation, but it's hard to form a foundation. You need more people to form a foundation. And as Wilma said, the rationale is that the J3As will always be there.
So to form a foundation, you need more than three, four people?
Yes, yes, yes. Because to have a foundation, you need to have a president. You
A
have to have
secretary,
an organization
Terry.
that has a president, a secretary, all of those things.
a
Yes,
treasurer.
structure and
Okay.
all that. Yes, yes.
Okay. Auntie Lorna, you're burning to say something.
No, I was just when Ruth was talking about when you were asking the question about focusing on girls, I was going to say that no, it's really that we look for needs and we look across the board. It doesn't matter um boy or girl. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay, okay. And before I go to my next question, I just want the fans to know that tonight we're here with some outstanding women who have contributed to Jamaica's track and field legacy, whether it was on the field, whether it was behind a desk in administration, umpiring, whatever it was. So please, guys, there is an account number, NCB halfway tree. Please make your donation. It doesn't matter how small it is, because we're here for our youths who are the future. And I love to say one Jamaica. It doesn't matter what we're doing. I love, my hashtag is one Jamaica. So please, guys, dip into your pocket. And also, I'm asking you to share the content so that we can get this information out. Because, as the ladies said earlier, we do have student athletes with needs. So, with that said, I'm going to go back to the meat of the matter. My next question is, what are some of the projects your organization is working on? I know it's small, but I still want to hear if you guys are working on any initiatives for the coming track and field season 2024, which is an Olympic year.
Well, for me in Jamaica here, the track and field season is extremely busy. I don't know about fundraising because we have always tried that even for at the J3's level, and it's a lot of work. And at the end of the day, you garner very little funds. So we'll just have to try to contact past athletes, not necessarily Olympians only, and well wishers, because Ruth told you about that interview that happened after the Tokyo Olympics, but it happens after every major games. People are saying, how can I help? How can I help?
True.
And some never help, some will help for that year, and after that, it's back to normal. But people have always seen the need because of the stories that they hear about these athletes,
So in
where
the heat of the moment,
they're always, it's not the
everybody
first
wants,
time. It's
yeah,
not the first time. And
yeah.
people, companies sometimes who you may ask for sponsorship or money, they don't give you anything, but they will put out a big ad to commend the athletes that have done successfully.
Seen that so many times. I've seen
Yes,
that so many.
yes, yes. So, we don't have a fundraiser as such. We're just going to have to depend because it's a small project. The breakfast, for example, for that one athlete that we are sponsoring the breakfast program, it's 25,000 Jamaican per term. And well, the dollar you can work out. The treasurer told me to work out the dollar at 140 because by the time it gets there, it won't be the 155 or the 166. It's 140.
Mhm.
And for the other person, we are just assisting him with his room and board, which takes in a meal or two.
So,
Okay.
And
can I say something?
Sure.
So we're going to continue with the student from Steertown Academy. Last year, the breakfast was like, for the year, it's about 600 US dollars. In our last meeting we had it, it's about 600 US dollars for one student for breakfast for the year. And so we're going to continue, but we want to take on two more students this year.
How does I know that Miss Vilma said some of it earlier, but as it is right now, with the donation being low, how do you fund your activities like this venture that you guys are doing now? How do you fund it? Out of your pocket, whatever donations you have already?
Right. So, do I have the figure? Last year, we started, as I said before, we started from funds from us,
Okay, yes.
and from friends and close family and friends that gave.
Oh, yes.
Well, up to between last year and September, we got about 900 US, and that's equivalent is about 140,000 in Jamaican.
150.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, so it's personal funds. And what we would like to do, though, is to ask the past students of these two schools, especially. I know Dorothy was trying to see if the past students from Bustamante could assist us. And
Let's see
that's what
if we can bring her back in. Let's see.
that could greatly help if the past students could
Hello,
assist.
Miss Dart. Okay, we're still getting the feedback. One moment. Yeah, we're still getting that feedback. Seems as if her Wi-Fi, her internet is not cooperating with us. Yes. So what I need you ladies to do is to call out the alumni for those two schools.
Especially now, yes.
Yes.
So the
That's
schools now it's Steertown Academy and
Bustamante.
Comanche, right. Right. And so, we have some money that, we can continue this year. I'm just looking at the report that in our last meeting that we have like about 120,000 Jamaican dollars. So we're going to start giving breakfast. So we're in November. We should start, we haven't decided yet which month we're going to start, but we're going to start. And I'm going to say in the next month, in December.
Okay.
We'll
So
continue with the student from Steertown.
so your breakfast program, does it go through the school
Oh,
or
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Definitely.
So Vilma
okay.
can explain. She
Definitely.
can speak
We
on that.
said, actually, today I wrote the principal of Steertown Academy to tell him that a check has been drawn for $25,000 to go towards Station Barnes breakfast program. It's 400 Jamaican dollars a day, and the funds we gave them last year, they didn't use all of it. And you have the guidance counselor who is helping us to keep the books. And
Mm-hmm.
there are some mornings apparently they leave early to go somewhere or they have breakfast somewhere else. And it is strictly for breakfast because we have another program for lunch which the government takes on. It's the path program. So most of them, if they are needy athletes or needy students, they can get a free lunch. But we are concerned with the athletes who sometimes have to train early in the morning before
Mm-hmm.
they go to school. And it is welcomed. I can tell you the athletes enjoy it, the two athletes that we have.
Great. Miss Lorna,
I'm here.
do you have a thought?
Well, one of the things is that we just want to focus, if we can help just one athlete at a time,
Mm-hmm.
because we know those of us who have gone through it know the challenges that we face, especially those who went through at a time when assistance was limited. And so if we can help one athlete, then another athlete, then another athlete, and it's all about how much money we have. We know that, say, for example, the breakfast program that was mentioned, if an athlete is going to do well, the athlete needs balance, needs proper nutrition, needs proper gears, needs in order to focus on the academic and also to focus on the track. Since we say track, since we're talking about track and field now. And so there are persons who drop out along the way, and they drop out because they are not able to finance themselves. They may drop out of the sport and just focus on schoolwork. But if they had assistance, they would be able to do both. So we are committed to this. And so we are hoping that persons out there who are hearing us will be willing to give us the support that we can find more athletes, more students, because we are out there, we work with them throughout the season, and we can see the challenges or hear of the challenges that they face. And especially those who are in what we refer to as smaller schools. And it's not necessarily smaller in number, but they might not have that big alumni association or a lot of support from the communities or other issues that make them not able to finance themselves the way they ought to. So, we are putting ourselves out there and asking for persons to give us all the support they can give, because there are other athletes out there that we want to help. And whatever you give is going to help us go a long way.
It's very interesting that you said that. I can call name because he has been on this program. And I remember Daniel England said to me that when he was at his development phase, that was when he needed the help, not when they become a star. Because
Exactly.
and this is I've been trying to understand this mindset. Why is it that we ignore people throughout their development phase, and then when they hit stardom, everybody wants to give them stuff?
It's a lack of understanding, I think. And or maybe they want to identify with the hype of this athlete once they're a star. But the people in sport, take for example, the Jamaican football, the girls' football team. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know that it is one of our track officials who was a manager of a company that sponsored the girls' team, Mr. Ian Forbes? He sponsored the girls' team for 10 years. And as soon as he gave it up, they broke out
Mm-hmm.
into
Mm-hmm.
stars.
Mm-hmm.
So for
Yes.
me now as a sports person, every time I see Ian Forbes, I said he did it
Yes,
because he
indeed.
stuck with them for 10 years and built that sport.
And he did it when it was
There was nothing.
needed. When it
Yes,
was
there was nothing.
needed.
And then I'm so sorry he had to give it up because
Yeah.
he really sponsored a league for the girls
We
because
need to change our mindset. And when I said we, I'm talking about people in general. A person already have two cars and you're giving them another car, and there's someone there without a car. I've gone to the stadium. I'm a big track and field fan, and I've gone to the stadium, and anytime I see the children running barefooted, it breaks my heart. And as we go closer down to the end of the program, I'm going to share some tips with you guys, because I too have a non-profit organization, sport organization. And it breaks my heart when I see them running barefooted. And then there's another athlete over there have 6, 4, 5 pairs of spikes.
don't worry, don't worry, don't let not your heart be troubled.
It breaks my heart,
There's
Auntie.
there's merit in running barefooted.
I
We have
agree.
to go over this. But it's improving. It's improving. So
I hope so. I hope so. I hope
Some
so.
many schools have lots of challenges, because
yeah,
sometimes you'll be there and you see a race is run, and then the athlete is running from the finish line, running back
uh,
To the
to
warm-up area,
to
right?
get the spikes.
or running back to the start, because the
Oh,
person who's going to start the race
need that pair
You
of
need
shoes.
that
Yes,
pair of spike
yes,
that that person is running in. So
yes,
you have that kind of we
yes.
see these things, so we see the need, and so we are working on trying to solve, like we say, one athlete at a
One.
time. And,
I see where the big schools are getting bigger and the small schools, it's like they're not moving. And as you said earlier, it's not about the numbers, but it's about the dominance that they've been having repeatedly. And then there's another school, you're not even hearing about them. And then the big schools get all the gear, gets all the kit, everything. And when you look at another school, they're barely surviving in
Right.
terms of their
Resources.
outfit.
Lack of resources.
A lot
Yes.
of
So,
a
but
lot.
why are we ignoring those schools though?
No, well, this is why we are working with those schools whom you think are being ignored. And we're calling on the past students because the bigger schools that you see getting all the gear, it's the past students that actually fund a lot of the sporting programs in the schools. Because the school system, the grant that you get from the Ministry of Education can't cover all the things you would want to do. They basically cover the physical education classes by giving you equipment or apparatus for the classes, not for the after school
Not for
program.
this.
It is very expensive. Very expensive.
Your organization, Friends of Track and Field, what are some of the donations you guys accept? Money, gear, equipment? What kind of donations you accept?
Well, if you don't have cash, we can take the gear because yesterday I got a call. Somebody was asking for spikes for 17 athletes, boys and girls. Fortunately, that school has an Olympian, so I'm going to reach out to that Olympian. But mainly it's food. If they can give some money to assist with the breakfast program, it's not a lot. Like I said, $25,000 or even less. We have counted the days in the month and the months for the term, and we came up with that figure, 25,000. Can give them a good breakfast in the mornings rather than having banana chips. Sometimes that's what you see
And
them.
bag juice.
Yes, they can have a
Right,
proper.
right. So we're really focusing on nutrition. But if someone, we also got therapy. Is that counseling? We got,
Yes.
yeah. Someone gave us some counseling. She's yet to give counseling to a student, and she's yet to quantify to tell us how much that was. But I am saying, if somebody has gear, I'm sure you could find the same schools. You could find someone who would benefit from a pair of spikes, a pair of running shoes, and um, any kind of gear.
How receptive are the schools when you reach out to them and say, this is who we are and we want to help?
Oh,
So so Vilma can speak because she's a liaison. She's a person
Okay.
who
the two principals were in awe, in a sense, and they really appreciate what we are doing. Um, they apparent because there are new schools. These are two schools. One was upgraded. One was a secondary school, Bustamante, and upgraded to a high school. Seartown Academy might have been an all age. I don't think it was a secondary. So it's
Okay.
fairly new as a high school. So naturally they would welcome any any help that they can get because they know the cost. And I can tell you, all the schools would love to have a sports team shine because it
Yes.
really makes a difference when they are on the map. The football from you are going to school, the football team from a school, can put a school on the map. And so they are helpful. So if we can get the past students, these two schools might be very new in terms of talking about a past student group, but if we can get some past students to help them along, it would be useful. I know Dorothy was trying her best with Bustamante because Bustamante High School now used to feed their technical. So that's where the bulk of the athletes used to come from. So
Mhm.
it should have, and if they moved on to their technical, I'm sure they would be willing to also help the secondary school from which they came.
Indeed, indeed. How do you accept? Okay, go ahead,
I'm
Ruth.
just saying that there are a lot of track and field enthusiasts out there, so they'll see the fruits or they'll see their donation sometime down the road.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. They just have to believe in the program
And
and know that it can work because it has worked for others. It has worked for others. How do you accept your donation, especially money, bank transfers, checks, cash?
so bank transfers to the 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 the, the number that is the bank account number that is running across the screen. If someone wants to send a check, they could send a check to the J3A's six, is it six Tremaine? Vilma, you could give the address for the
If they are in Jamaica and they have a check, and they don't want to lodge it, they can take it to 6 Tremaine Road. That's where the J3's office is. Or if Jamaicans who have a Jamaican bank account still, they could also transfer the money from there to our account. But
Okay.
like
and
I
to
say,
know
a lot
and
of
to
times
know
they come visiting, so they can just bring it to the office.
Okay, okay. So like me now, who is not in the country right now, I can just do a transfer from
Yes,
a
transfer.
local bank to.
yes,
Yeah.
to the account numbers that you see
Okay.
on the screen. We
And
actually should
so
read it if they can't. There are some people who might be watching tonight and they can't read it on the
Hmm.
screen. So we can at least tell them it's NCB halfway tree 306474073.
and
Okay.
please
And
note
go
that
ahead.
you should say this money is for the Women's Commission. So in the memo in the check, if you give a
Yes.
check on the memo, you write Women's Commission.
And the same with
Okay.
And the same
mhm.
if you transfer, when you transfer money out of your account, in the memo you say, make sure that there's notation that says Women's Commission.
Okay. So there's no account for Friends of Track and Field.
No, no.
That's
Oh,
that, that's
Yes.
that's something we battled with before we actually started because it's not easy to open an account in Jamaica. It's not easy.
wow.
And because of that, we said, and that was one of the reasons. And as Ruth said earlier, when we demit office, if nobody takes it over, the account goes into, dormancy, and to reopen it is just difficult. Whereas
So
we
what you
know that J3s will always be here. So let
okay
us take the funds to them.
to the J3s.
Right.
Okay,
So I'm
okay.
gonna go back again and say, why don't we have a bank account in
In
Friends,
you,
in the Friends of, you know, it's because we would have to be established out in Jamaica as an entity, as a foundation. And that we need more people, and that also takes a long time. Right. So
yes.
that's the best way to do it. You can't open an account in my name or somebody or Vilma's name and ask to donate, because nobody's going
Mhm.
to want to do that. But
No,
Right,
the
yes.
J3A
but
is a
J3 is
reputable,
already established.
organization. It's been there before you and I were born, and it is going to be there as
Mhm.
long as Earth is as long as the Earth is still going on, right?
I was under the impression that it would have been easy to set up a non-profit in Jamaica.
Miss,
That's me assuming. I assumed that it was easy.
So this is kind of story that is not related to this, but I belong to a group, Lorna and we went to Michael together, and our batch formed a foundation in Jamaica. It took us how many years, Lorna? Like 2 years and maybe 100 and maybe so many times turning back the forms, and it is so tedious, so
Mhm.
tedious. And
Wow.
But
yes,
we eventually did it.
yes, but we had a group that,
Right.
here it's only a small group. We can't accomplish that with this small group. So one of the things we're asking for tonight also, we're asking for donation, but we're also asking for people, track and field enthusiasts out there, come join us. We need your help, right? We need your brain, we need your assistance. We do.
And
I
also with regards to donations, persons may say, okay, I am already giving to the J3s, and because since the funds are going to the J3s, um, but the J3s does not choose who we sponsor. So we know how much money comes in, and we know, and we choose who we want to sponsor, who we want to assist. It is that part of it is separate from anything that the J3A does. And
yes,
Right.
maybe Vilma can add to that because she's more involved in the J3As than I am.
yeah, that's something you will have to make clear to the
Yeah,
public that
right,
this fund, the funds,
right.
is not for the
The
J3s. You
J3s.
will
No,
have
No,
no,
to
it's not.
make that
Yes,
clear.
Yes, it is not. It comes through the Women's Commission, who is trying to spearhead this project. The Women's Commission is funded by the J3s because we do things for most of the athletes here. If we have a seminar that deals with mentorship, or if we have a seminar that deals with dining etiquette, the J3s pays for that. So this is a subcommittee. The Friends of Jamaica Track and Field is a subcommittee of the Women's Commission. We are the ones that are running it. And of course, the J3S has several committees. They have competition committee, they have the officiating committee, they have different committees that do different things. So they also could give to officials. I can tell you, one Olympian gave shirts to the officials of J3As. So, the scope is there for you to give in whatever area you wish.
Mm-hmm,
We
mm-hmm.
got 300 shirts from Dr. Una Morris for the officials. The
And so,
four,
I might add that they give you an accounting, right?
yes,
They
yes.
show you how much money comes in, and they
Mhm.
tell you who the money came from. And when you spend, they give you, like an income and expenditure, so that you know how much money is
Yes.
is there.
And that
So,
meeting is going to be held in November. In 2 weeks' time, we will have the AGM, and it will be a line item.
okay, okay. Someone is asking, I just put it up on the screen. Someone is asking, how do people join if they want to become a part of it? I hope your organization is one that will let the fans in, because many times fans of sports do not get an opportunity to be a part of any federation or any sporting body.
So you can send an email to friendsofjatrack@gmail.com if you want to
Join.
Okay.
be a part of this.
What's the email address?
Friends of Jatrack
Okay.
at gmail.com. Am I right, Vilma? Is it
Yes, JA.
J
Yes.
A?
Okay, so it is friends of JA.
.com.
No,
Oh, Gmail. It's a Gmail.
I'm going to give it to you right now.
Yes, so that they can have it. And remember,
It
guys,
should have come.
this
It's Jatrack, but I'm.
this show is about giving back. These ladies who have given of themselves to track and field, Jamaican sports in general for many, many years. They are asking
I'm
for
trying to
our
look
help
for it. I'm trying to
to
make
give
sure.
back to other athletes who are in need. So please, guys, donate, donate. The information
So let me
is
tell you
on
what it
across the
is.
screen. Okay.
It's it's Friends of Jatrack
Okay.
gmail.com.
Okay, got it.
JA.
Yeah, got it. Gmail.
So it's friends of JATRACK at gmail.com.
Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. All right. Moving along. Where, with your organization, I know that you've started out with your main project is the breakfast club and providing nutrition and stuff. But where do you see the organization going in terms of how broad you go and how much you give? What's the goal, really?
Well, I guess that depends on the funds we get, and that is why we're starting with these two athletes. And we hope that one of these two athletes will make the character team because he did very well last year. He was fifth in the finals of the 100 meters.
Class
So,
one, class one boys.
yes.
I think I
So,
know who you're talking.
Tayshawn.
Yes, that's from Steer Town.
Yeah.
Right, right,
Yes,
right.
that young man. Yeah, he's
Yes,
promising.
yes, he
Yes.
is.
So,
So,
go ahead, Vilma. Go ahead.
so once they see success and we can tag that along with our begging, then it will make a difference.
Yes, we
Oh,
are
I'm
going
very
to.
ambitious. I'm very ambitious, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she is
So
always.
so last year we sponsored two students. This year I would like for us to double that, right? And hopefully, in another 3 or so years, we should be able, to take on
Bigger things.
bigger. Yes, yes, yes.
What are some of the challenges you guys are facing? I know that we maybe mentioned a few before, but what are some of the challenges that you're facing in order to meet your objective as a nonprofit organization? I know that you mentioned the biggest one is registering the organization as an independent entity.
Right. And
Yes.
so that, we want to, if we get more people, if we get a couple of people out of here tonight to join us, then maybe we can take that step to form a foundation. Um, and I get the biggest challenge though is just to get more people to come in.
Okay. Well, as I said before, I do have a non-profit organization, but it's not in Jamaica, just being registered, well, it was registered and everything. I got the approval. So
It's much
um,
easier here,
if
much easier here.
if you need me as a member or something, I would love to be a part of it. I mean, you can be a
Oh, we
part of too
welcome you.
many.
We would so
So you can put my name on your list
And
and
I would say from time to time, if you give us an ad like this on all your programs,
no problem, no
that would
problem.
that's very helpful.
This space was created for the Jamaican athletes who have done track and field proud. So that when I came up with the concept, I said, because there are many athletes that we've never seen their faces, we've never seen an interview with them. Miss Charlton, I've been hearing your name for years. I've seen you in the stadium, and I've never ever gotten the opportunity to speak to you. I mean, I've heard all these names coming back because I researched Jamaica track and field. And when I look at the list where we started in 1948 and I come up the rank and I saw your name, I saw Dr. Cynthia Thompson, and I saw your name, and then I started seeing Ruth and I started seeing Dorothy, and I'm like, but this did not just start in the 90s.
Right,
It started.
exactly. And for the ladies too, since Dr. Cynthia Thompson got to the finals of the 100,
Mhm,
100 yards then, but she
mhm.
was under the British West Indies.
Yeah.
When we went to Tokyo, we were the first Olympic team
green and gold.
represented Jamaica, and Una Morris was fourth in the finals. From
Yeah.
then,
Speak, speak.
yes, from then she was fourth in the finals of the 200 meters, and that's
Indeed.
awesome. And she was a schoolgirl then.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes,
We've had so many schoolgirls who have made the Olympic team. It's incredible.
boys and a few boys too.
And if, yes, yes, indeed. See, on the live we have another Olympian, Vivian Spence
Oh,
Morana. I'm not
yes.
sure if you guys are aware, know the name.
I know Vivian Spence. Hello, Vivian.
But
Nice to have you
Vivian,
on.
yeah, Vivian is also there. Another person who is there who is saying hi to you, Miss Vilma, is Michael Ware. He's saying, hi, Vilma, how are
Okay,
you?
I'm fine. Yes,
You
I
know,
remember
so there
them.
are people there watching and listening. And please, guys, this is a special show to help these brilliant, outstanding
Junior
women
athlete.
of Jamaica who have done track and field for us in one way or another. They're partnering, they come together and decided that they want to give some more of themselves. So let us help them to give. So, guys, the account information is running on the screen. The funds will go through the J3As for their foundation. The bank is NCB halfway tree, account number 30647407 Please give your little bit. And at the end of the
And
day,
say,
it is one Jamaica, one hashtag, one Jamaica. Go ahead, Miss Vilma.
and I'm saying, please remind them to say what the funds are because I think the treasurer has a few dollars, close to 300 US, and it cannot be accounted for. So we're going to
Oh,
claim it. We're going to claim it because
wow.
there was no notation that said it is for the
Friends
French
of track and field.
track
It
and field.
would be nice. It would be so nice if you guys could get the organization registered independently. And I'm calling on the powers that be. I'm calling on the Minister of Sport, the people in charge to come on board and help us to get this organization that is there to benefit the future of Jamaica's track and field. And I don't think it's just track and field they are doing for sport in general. Please help us
It's,
to get
it's,
this.
it's track and field now. And I
Right
would
now,
say,
we are focusing on track and field right now.
Okay, okay,
yeah.
okay,
Well, let's go with the J3s now and build something before we
okay.
burn it off. Because as Ruth said earlier, it might not be very successful if we are on our own. Friends of Jamaica Track and Field could be any group, all right. But once you're linked with the J3s, everybody knows the J3s.
True, true.
So until then, what we could do, we could have that organization overseas if we wanted to,
You
which
could
would
do
be
that.
part of us, yes. And it's
Yeah,
so much easier to open a bank account
and that's
abroad.
what I was just going to tell you. It's very easy because,
Yeah,
as I said before, I just registered
yeah.
my foundation, my nonprofit organization, and I
Mhm.
went to the bank today and I got everything done.
Not
I
even
just
for.
sat, not even 2 hours. I just got there,
Mhm.
sit down, and it was done. So you can do that. If you have
Yes.
someone here, they can
Yeah.
register it here, and of course. So, and this is why I'm calling out our people to, this is something that is going to benefit country. This is not about an individual, it is about country. And I mean, I can tell you, I love to see the Jamaican kit. I wouldn't mind seeing us in every race at the Olympics and every race at the World Championship. I love to see our kids. So let us develop our youth so that they can go out there and make us proud while we're in our living room. And with that said, Miss Lorna, how can people who want to be a part of the organization, where can they find you guys? Is there a phone number? Are you on social media?
Not yet.
Not
No,
yet.
only
Not yet.
that, not
Not
yet.
yet.
That is right.
But well, I guess most of us are on WhatsApp and Facebook. So, and Lorna, Lorna, it will help us greatly to find athletes. So I guess she can also
Yes,
help us to find persons who are interested because she's one of our officials. And we are hoping that she too can spot the talent out there as she officiates from
yes.
week to week in our meets.
So you just gave me an idea. We can form a WhatsApp group. It doesn't take anything to form
Yeah,
a WhatsApp.
yes, yes. Yes, we could
And
do
it
I'm
would
that.
be
gonna do
nice.
that.
It would be nice too if you guys could get like an Instagram page and maybe a Facebook page, because I
Yeah.
interview a lot of athletes on this
Mm,
program, and how we find them is on social media. We
right.
just go on social media, send them a message, and if they reply, they reply. If not,
Mhm.
they're, later they can. So,
Yes,
let your presence be felt as an
about it.
organization.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
So,
we have a number of things to work on, and we know that the social media is big, and if you're
yes,
not out there, you're not going to reach the numbers that you want to reach. But
indeed.
we're working on it. It's at the back of our minds, but we haven't gotten there
Yes.
yet.
And if you guys need some help to create the account and the pages and stuff,
Of course.
let me know. I can help. As busy as I am, I will take some time out to
So
help you
please
guys.
look out for an invitation from us to our
No
next
problem.
meeting.
No problem. No problem. That's okay.
okay.
And
I hope Sandy's listening. Sandy British. I hope she's still there. And
yes,
she's.
Sandy British is there. She's my producer, and she she
Oh,
she knows how to find athletes.
oh, okay. She's a
Yes,
producer. I thought she
yes,
was
yes,
one.
yes. Okay, so what I did, I earlier when I asked, I know that you guys did not really have a fundraising plan together. So what I did, I put something together for you guys just to share, just to give you some ideas how you can generate money in order to sustain your nonprofit. One of the things I realized is that if you are doing a nonprofit, it is easier for people to give to a nonprofit than to a profit organization. That has
But
been my observation.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. A person is quicker to give you something if you're going to give it to somebody else, as opposed to if you have a profit organization. And for my organization, this is how I plan to get money for my organization. So I'm going to share it with you guys. All right, sponsorship with sports company, any company that you can find. I will be sending letters to everybody in the world. It doesn't matter where you come from.
Exactly.
You will be getting a letter introducing my company, telling you what I'm about, and begging you something. So if it cannot be money, equipment is fine, gear is fine, apparel is fine,
Service.
service,
Yes.
and all of that, so that is one of the ways that you can get to help, because if you write to a food company and they said, okay, I cannot give you money, but every month I will donate 100 pounds of rice,
See, with
or
this, Heather, you on my. I had that
yeah,
idea that
yes,
I
we
was
discussed that.
going to.
But
We
yes,
discussed
man.
looking for those supermarkets in the area where, say, if
Office
it's
food.
Town, who is supplying the bread, who is supplying the milk, who is, and just ask them who's supplying the chicken,
mm-hmm,
and ask
mm-hmm.
them. Yeah, I had that idea, right? Yeah.
Yes. And if you guys hang around Mr. Herb McKinley enough, you would know that those are some of the things that he used to do.
Of course.
He would just pick up his phone, call someone and said, look, I have two athletes and they haven't had any breakfast. What can you do for them? Or they need to get home. Can somebody give them a ride home? So the barter system works. And I got that from Daniel England. And I'm giving him his credit there. So that's one of the things I plan to use for my organization. The next one is events. I know that you guys are very small, but because we intend to get very big,
Of course.
events is another way to generate revenue. And one of the most common thing is a 5K run.
Oh, hi.
Yes, I know that's a big deal. That's a
Let
big
me tell
deal.
you a story.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, our calendar is so tight. I don't. We might have to have it in another country.
I
But
know. And we
yeah,
can
Lorna
partner
can tell you
together.
that
We can
Yeah.
partner together and do that.
something.
Another thing, another fundraising event can be cookouts. We're Jamaicans. have a sports day, have a fun day, something, and generate another way to generate money. Get people to donate, get people to buy a ticket. Another way I plan to raise money is grant. In the US, they have something called grant writing. So you write to places that offer grants, not loan, grants.
Right. So that's
We
cool
And
have
money.
them here
yes,
too.
yeah,
It's a
that
special
yeah, and
skill to do
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yes, and I think Jamaica have something similar to this. Apply
Yes,
for
we do.
grants at government agencies, other foundations, sport organization, you name it.
And we can apply for grants from overseas as long as we do a good
Record keeping.
right.
Yeah. Another thing that is on my list, which is a big, big thing, is merchandise sale. T-shirt, cap. Look here, you guys are Olympians. You guys can come up with design easy, easy, and sell them. You guys can do that. There are
And
two.
for years we have been talking about merchandising our Jamaican Puma
Why
shirts.
are we not
Oh
merchant?
no, it cannot get off the ground
Why
because
are we not merchandising our
I
brand,
guess
the track
I
and
guess
field
we
Jamaica?
need additional persons because our track and field season is probably bigger than the USA's, I know
Listen,
it's bigger than France and everything. Every single weekend you have at least one meet, at least.
Auntie, let me tell you
Sometimes you have.
something. I went to Eugene track World Championship last year, and I made a dress out of a Jamaican flag, and I had three other flags. And my picture was caught in the Observer at Eugene because I was fully clad in the Jamaican flag. And a lady, she came up to me, quite a few people, not Jamaican, and they came up to me and said, "We would like to have something Jamaican. Can we get one of your flags?" I went with four flags and I came back with one. And see it right here behind me? I came back with one.
Yes,
Everybody
well,
wanted
nice
a
a
piece
piece.
of us.
Yeah, so the athletes have a nice time when they go to games. They either trade their shoe or top or they sell it, unfortunately, as
We are
some of
not capitalizing.
so it is true.
It is true.
Our, our colors.
Our colors stand out. I love to see the Jamaican kit with Jamaica across the front. I love that kit. We need to, so merchandise, let me tell you, merchandising here is a big thing, especially at the collegiate level. When you go to a collegiate game, especially the NFL football, you can get a cap to buy, you can get a Woody shirt to buy, you can get a T-shirt, you can get a key ring,
A keyring cup, everything.
cup, everything for that school. So
Yes,
merchandising,
sounds good.
yes. So
Sounds good.
merchandising is another thing. And this that I'm giving you is my marketing plan, and I'm sharing it with you guys and everybody else who is watching. The next thing I plan to do is educational workshops or seminar. Daniel England did one a few weeks ago. He had his foundation had a seminar in Jamaica, October 13th. That's another way to generate money for um your organization. Any questions so far, ladies? Miss Lorna, I see you want to say something.
No, I'm just soaking it up. I'm making notes. Some
Okay, good, good.
of
And
these things are things that we thought of, not as many, but this is opening our eyes a lot, I'm sure.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Auntie Ruth?
No, no, no. I'm the same as Lorna. I'm taking notes. I mean,
Yes, we all are taking notes.
Good,
some things
good,
that
I
I
can see you doing.
thought of, but never thought of some of these things.
good. Another idea that I have that I'm going to use is online donation. So I will have a website which is being constructed as we speak, where every page you go on my website, you will see a little button that says
It says
donate
donate.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's something we could do, especially if we get success with Tayshaun Barnes this year. We could use him as a face of the nation.
There you go. You know who is the face of my organization? Aileen Bailey.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. Aileen Bailey is the face
Good.
of this organization. So, yes, online donation. A person just click on a button. Everywhere you go on the website, you will see donate here. You
Hmm.
click on it, and your card information will be safely go straight through
Goes
the
through
bank,
your can goes.
and the bank protect your information. So that's another idea. Another idea that I have is training program sales, meaning I have someone write the training programs and I sell those through the website. All that money goes into the organization, because I don't know if you guys know, but Jamaica, we have a lot of retired Olympians who are outstanding coaches.
That's true.
We have some
Oh,
outstanding coaches in the likes of Lassina Golden Clark, Davian Clark, Ines Turner, Karen Stewart, so many of them, Aileen herself, Daniel England, so many of them are in the business, and we need to capitalize on that. So that's another idea. Another idea that I have is regular promo videos to promote the organization, promote what you're doing, let people see your face, have a face on every social media. Right now, a lot of people don't even call me Heather anymore. A matter of fact, most people don't even know that my name is Heather anymore. Everybody calls me HP.
HP. Hmm.
That's the brand.
Hmm.
So you put a name out there that you want people to get comfortable with, and each time they see you, you are wearing that name. So that's some of the information. That's my fundraising plan that I put together, that I said I was going to share with you ladies. Because, as I said before, I want us to collaborate, my organization with your organization, and we build on this thing to secure Jamaica's future in track and field. We want to continue winning those gold medals.
You know,
Right. And the public wants to see it continue. That
Yes,
is why after every big meet, we get these kinds of calls. What
yes,
can we do? But then
yes.
that's about it.
But the thing is that if we do not follow, people forget that they promise us
that's what's
something.
okay. Right. And so you have
Yes.
to,
So you have to follow up. You have to say, remember, you promised to give me $20. Remember, you promised to give me 2 pairs of spikes. I need them now. Because everybody who promised me something, I have their name on a list. And I am ready to start begging. I'm going to say, remember, you promised me 2 pairs of sneakers. Remember, you promised me 2 pairs of whatever. I'm ready for them now. And I start accumulating stuff so that I can help those in need. But we have to remember to follow up. And this is why I want you ladies to have a presence on social media.
that looks
Okay.
like the first step. First step. I mean, it's not that difficult.
Yeah. And a lot of Olympians out there. I did not know that Jamaica has so many Olympians, because I've done the research from 1948 when we went there as a country, and I put a list together. I am still putting the database together, because there's this argument which school produced the most Olympian, and there's this war between
Or
the Jago and the Veer fans.
yes.
No, and I
And
think there definitely.
shh,
Yeah.
don't tell them, auntie. Don't tell them.
Think but
But it is close
there
between
had
Veer and
has
Saint Jago.
there has had a lull, so I'm not sure if Diego has caught up.
Caught up. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But
The data
there
that
for
I
many years.
Yeah, the data that I have is bringing Saint Jago and Veer very, very close. And but one of the things a lot of people don't realize is that Veer has had um a star on every Olympic team from 1980. And if you don't believe me, check it
Possible.
for yourself.
Yes, it's possible. There was
From
a
nine,
time when most of the team used to be filled by just
there,
Tech. We hardly had anybody from other schools.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it is possible.
From 1980 to date, and from 1980 to date,
1980
yeah.
because
From Merlin Otis
right.
started
Mhm.
1980.
Yeah.
Veer has been on every, and a star athlete has been on every Olympic female team and medal.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's possible.
yeah. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So, ladies, after what I just said about my plan, your thoughts?
Yes, I'm looking at the merchandising sale. Maybe this is something we can do at Penrelays next year. If we can get some shirts, I'll talk to Puma and see. Juliet Campbell is our sponsor. Well, she's a representative in Jamaica. So
Mhm.
I will see what she can do for us. Give us some Puma shirts and we put Friends of Jamaica track and field on
And
it.
that's a good link you have right there because I plan to send her a letter myself. So that's
Yeah,
a
well,
very good
well,
link.
she's our rep in Jamaica.
Yes, I know. Yeah. A St. Jago stand out.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I like the idea of the educational workshops and the training programs.
And the training program.
And I thought about the educational workshop. I don't know if because, I have a teaching background or so, but it wouldn't be, and it would not necessarily have to be done by us. We would bring in persons because do find that um, persons, athletes may not necessarily, especially if they are nutritional workshops that teach you how to eat, what you must eat, because a lot of athletes, young persons, do not know what they should eat to make themselves strong, to make themselves healthy. So when you say educational workshops, I don't know if you are particularly focusing on athletes being involved or just anyone who's interested in
All right, let me just
learning something.
yeah, what I'm actually looking at when I say educational
Right,
background is
right,
like bringing in people who can talk about health and wellness,
right.
etiquette, public speaking, things like those that will help to shape them so that when they go out, they can represent
Representation.
themselves and represent their country.
Yes, the Women's Commission does a little of that, especially etiquette dining. So we can just beef that up and add other areas.
Right. So that is
Yes.
something that you probably could take on.
There's
Yeah,
someone, all right, let me just read some of the comments for you guys. There's someone in the chat. Her name is Monica Lewis. She's saying, good evening, HP, and your guest. I hope you are getting the merchandise ready for
candidate.
2024. Paris,
Olympics? Oh,
yes.
pilots. Okay.
Yeah.
The J3s is working on that.
We're
We'll
not
work on
talking
it.
about
J
kits for the
trades.
athletes. No, we're
No,
talking
no,
about
no. To
we're
sell.
fans. Yes.
Yes, to
Yes.
sell.
Yes.
I think they had a visit 2 weeks ago from Puma, and I think they are looking at merchandising a lot more. We have been talking about this for years, so even to come to the office, people should be able to come to the office and buy gear. A shop. We
Listen,
should have a shop or online.
even at the stadium, we should
Yeah,
have a merchandise area at the
yes,
stadium. When you come there, either for, especially when we're playing another country, when we had the Carifta games, people
yeah,
should just come in. The tourists coming in from abroad should be able to buy a Jamaican
right,
cap, a
right.
Jamaican keyring, a
Mhm.
t-shirt, whatever they feel the need to buy. But I've been saying this for years among my peers. Why are we not
Yes.
capitalizing?
Mhm.
There
Even
are
the
two
pins,
designs.
the
There
Jamaican pins.
are there
Yeah.
are merchandise being sold at the stadium, but
Where?
they
Other
J
companies,
Trade,
private companies.
other entities, but the J Trade itself,
No,
just
but
like
that money should be going in the the federation's purse.
No,
Even
Lauren.
even if someone else is doing it, then they should ensure
There
that they
should
are getting a part of it,
yes,
especially
Percentage, yeah.
yes.
If it is the genuine one, you see, they make these shirts and sell them, and the stores do it too. That when we have Jamaica Day, they can go to a marathon anywhere and get a Jamaican shirt. What we need is a
Mhm.
branded one, like the Brazilians had for years. We still
Authentic
have,
gear,
yes, the
yes. We
one that
need that.
they wear to an Olympic Games.
Yes, we're not talking
Mm.
about the what you call them, the mimic ones. We're
yeah,
talking about
right.
the
Okay,
Knock
real
off,
the
knock
Jamaican
off,
regular.
brand.
right,
Yeah, the
right.
knockoff. We're not talking about the knockoff, a real. Let me tell you, sometimes when
And
I'm
that is
doing things,
your patent that nobody
mhm,
else can.
Mm. We could try that with the Friends of Jamaica track and field.
Right,
mhm,
and it's yours, and it is
Yes.
your, what do you call it?
Mhm.
Property, intellectual
Right.
yeah,
property, or whatever it is, and nobody else
Because
can.
we already have a logo, so we could
yes,
use
there
it.
you go. We just need to get going as a country. Everybody do their little part, because sometimes somebody have to start and everybody else follow through, that kind of thing. But before we go into a little game, quickly before you guys go, I'm just going to ask each of you if you have anything that you want to add, and then we go into the game, starting with Auntie Roots.
So I don't have something to add, but I just I want to thank you for giving us this media to showcase Friends of Jamaica Track and Field, and I especially want to thank you for sharing your merchandise plan. You know, some things are on there um, that we can start with. By the way, you know, the WhatsApp, the social media. I don't see why is it that we can do that very quickly and get visibility. So, um, again, just thank you for giving us this exposure.
You're welcome.
Yes, I too would like to say thanks to you, Heather. I can see that your space is growing and a lot more people have learned about you ever since Ruth was on the program. She was one of the first guests, I think.
Yes,
So we do appreciate your input and your assistance. And as you said, you would help us with funding by always streaming the account number across your screen. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I just want your listeners to understand how important this is for us. And we are very senior persons, and for us to see these needs and to take them on is really, really important. And so we need your support. We don't want any athlete to be left behind. And
Indeed.
it's a massive, massive amount of athletes we have who are left behind because maybe they didn't have breakfast or they're not having proper breakfast. Maybe they get injured and they cannot get the proper medical help. Maybe they do not have the proper shoes to wear. Maybe they are running a meet where they need to be running in proper spikes because the turf may be hot. They were running barefooted and probably not placed where they are supposed to be placed. So we are looking at those people. We are not looking at the ones who already have. And so to allow someone to be left behind simply because of finance or because lack of nutrition, maybe they go through pressures at home and would need some guidance in some way or the other, and they do not reach their fullest potential
Mm-hmm.
because they are not in a position to take care of self. So
Yes.
we would want to remind them that there are a lot of some we have not seen our best in Jamaica yet. They
Mm-hmm.
are there, and we are those are the ones that we want to reach because what sometimes the reasons why we do not see them is because of all the challenges that they face, some of the things that I mentioned, some things that were not mentioned, but we as a group will be able to help them along the way. As soon as we find them, we help them. And
Mm-hmm.
we want to be at a stage where not just us going to find them, but they know we exist and they can contact us. And from investigation, we'll know, is this a person in need, or this is a person who is not in need or is getting support from other source and does not need us. But we want to get to that point where we are so organized and that we can be reached and then we can reach out.
Indeed, indeed.
And
And
I
as
think
you,
and I also need to say thank you for having us.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And as you said that, with athletes being left behind, I'm going to share just a little part of Daniel England's story. I love this story. As talented and popular as Daniel England was when he was attending Calabar and dominated champs, where he had an era named after him called the Daniel England era, he could not continue his track and field career after leaving high school because when he went to college overseas, he did not have the funds to come home for trials. I can say this because it's already on my platform. He could not find a plane fare to come home to run at the trials to compete for Jamaica. So he was left behind and nobody checked on him. So I'm just saying
Yes,
that to say
unfortunate.
these are the people that we want to help, people with potential,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter where in the world that they are.
It's
It doesn't matter.
unfortunate. Yes, it's
It is
unfortunate that his coach did not help him to come down.
very,
But
very unfortunate.
yes,
If you
yes.
watch that story, your eyes are going to get teary. He went into depression because when it was time for trials, he could only find a part of the plane fare and could not find the other part. And it went on for years, and he decided to just give up the sport and concentrate on the academics. So we cannot have our especially outstanding athletes who are leaving high school, gone overseas to study. We have to keep in touch with them to know what is happening. So we
Yeah.
are here to help. It is One Jamaica. But ladies, before you go, we have to play a little game. I like this part of it. And I want each of you to share with me and Jamaica, the rest of the world, what was it like competing for Jamaica at the highest level? Auntie Vilma, what was it like in the 60s?
Well, my favorite event was the 1964 Olympic Games. It was like a city within a city. In the village, you had everything you needed: a dressmaker, a tailor, pharmacy, mailbox. I mean, everything was there. And the second thing for me at Tokyo too was when we went on the streets, the Japanese children especially, they were seeing black people for the first time, and they would, when they see us, they would jump. But the parents were so gracious. They said to the children, they said to us actually that that's the first time they are seeing black toned people. So
Wow.
it was, and to this day, it is still my best event. The people are
Wow.
very friendly, very nice. And you see, even today, that's 50 years ago, because the Japanese kind of own us now, they have Japanese people
Yes.
living in all parts of Jamaica,
Mhm,
trenched down, they
mhm.
come for the music and everything.
Yeah, they love the culture.
Yes, yes. Yeah, they are here all the time. So that was my favorite event. And even today, after going as manager for teams, it's still my favorite.
Who were some of the people on teams with you?
We only had, it was just four of us, not even a reserve that went to Tokyo. Una Morris, Adeline Mayer, Carmen Smith, and myself, the four of us. And we still remain friends because there's a function that's held in June that's sponsored by Una. So, and she was honored. She was honored this year by the government. So we're still friends.
Good. Auntie Ruth.
So I'm telling you, so Vilma is one of my, you call them now, heroes. So when I was a little girl at St. Andrew Technical High School, and I think I was in second form, the Commonwealth Games was in Jamaica,
Yeah, 66.
1966. I was in second form, and there was Vilma Charlton, Adeline Mayer, Una Morris, and Carmen Smith. And I so wanted to be like them. And I became, a team member of Vilma in
72.
1972. And we have been friends since that. We're like sisters.
Beautiful.
And so I was able to meet all of these ladies. Right. It took a while for me to meet.
Yes, no, I
Even though
understand.
I lived in the same county in the US that she lives in. And it was through Vilma that I was able
To meet
to meet her. Yes.
the final one of the group.
The final. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So
And so it is awesome. I can't find words. When people ask me, how does it feel to represent Jamaica? Honestly, I don't know what words. I can't. And it's a long time. I still cannot find what words to use. It's awesome. You are an ambassador for your country. You when you go out, as Vilma said, when you go out to outside of the stadium, children, I think like Montreal was probably the best, where the children just flocked to you and wanted to touch you, wanted to have your their
Oh,
autograph, right? So it's just awesome. It's an unbelievable experience.
I can just imagine. Auntie Lorna, your favorite Olympic moment. I know that you're not an Olympian, but I
Right.
want you to tell me what was your what so far, what was your favorite Olympic moment of all the Olympics that we've gone through from 1948 to 2021? Name me one event or one moment.
So for me, it would be, I would say 1972, not necessarily because of any particular athlete, but Ruth. Ruth and I went to Michael together, so reference from Michael, and we we were named on the Olympic team in 1972, and then I was replaced at some point before, just a few days before the team left.
Hold on,
Um,
auntie, one moment.
so
Back up a little bit.
okay,
You just touch a nerve, but I'm going to allow you to continue. That replace, but continue.
okay. So I was focusing on Ruth. It was just about Ruth. My friend Ruth was gone to the Olympics, and I had to just follow her to see what. And then it was it got a little touchy after they had that the attack. I think that was the Olympics when they had, not think it was
It was the Israelis.
right.
The
And
Israelis
then
got killed. Yeah. Yeah.
when they killed the Israeli athletes, it was
Mhm.
1972.
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.
So with my joy of knowing that Ruth was there and following Ruth and so forth, I was also
Sad.
scared for her for a moment, because I
Yeah.
didn't know how far our village was from theirs and whether she was caught up in it.
Very
But no,
close.
right. But so
Very close.
it's not necessarily that it was the most exciting, but all our Olympics are exciting, but because my friend was there, my
Indeed.
close friend Ruth, and still remain my close friend until today.
Look here, man. I would have got crazy seeing my friend competing at the Olympics.
Yes,
Oh my
Yes.
God. So
yes,
I do understand. I do understand your joy.
yeah.
But just before we continue, before we wrap up, Dorothy is, she's apologizing. She said that her internet was acting up. We saw that, Auntie Dorothy. But love all the way, love all the way. Hopefully, you can join us. Again at the next meeting and stuff. So my next question before we go, Auntie Ruth, Auntie Vilma, I want you to name me who was your biggest rival. Name me one person who, when you line up beside that person, you were nervous at the Olympic Games.
Jamaica.
Whether Jamaicans, American, well, you
Oh,
know the
well,
rivalry.
the Americans always,
I,
and they were my friends in a way. Barbara Farrell in my time was my rival, but we remained friends. We remained friends. She was my rival.
boy, the
And
East Germans in the 400 meters. Can't remember. Martha, coach.
Coach, yeah,
Yes,
coach.
yeah,
Still the record holder.
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Wow, you ladies remember a lot. That's good. All
It's
right.
part of your life, man. It's part of your life. It's
Yes. This
Yes.
question is for anyone can answer first. If you were to switch places with one athlete, who would it be? Starting with Auntie Lorna.
Mm, awesome.
Which athlete would you switch place with for a day?
My friend
No
Your
way.
friend.
I don't know.
Ruth.
That's
Ruth.
now.
I mean,
I wouldn't want
Ruth
to.
was special, because not only could Ruth run, I could not beat her. I would always run second to her. But Ruth was and still is full of confidence. She's sure of herself, and she's vocal, she's kind. And so if I would switch place with someone going way back, I would say Ruth Williams. I'm going to say Ruth Williams because that's how we knew each other during those days in college.
I want
And
a best friend like Auntie Lorna.
Yes.
I wouldn't want to change myself, but then I would say, if I really, really had to do, Alison Felix.
Wow. Why Alison Felix?
Because, well, the fact that I would like to have been able to run the 200. I thought that, that should have been my race. So, her, I admire her. Yes, so.
Auntie Vilma, just for a day.
Well, I would say Wyoming Tiles in the 100 meters. She was awesome for more than one Olympic Games, and she's still one of my friends. She's an American, and she's very close to Una Morris as well. So I would say yes. And she had a nice, calm spirit. I'm not sure what's happening with the Jamaicans and the US nowadays, but usually the Jamaicans and the Americans are always close,
Yeah.
always close.
Yeah, that rivalry started as far back in 1948 with
Mhm.
the likes of Mr.
Yeah,
Herb.
rivalry, but remain friends
And
because Herb was
Mal
very
Whitfield.
close to
Mal Whitfield.
Manuel Field. Yeah, that beat him on the line or that they tied. They were very close too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us have somebody abroad that we are close with, especially on the American team.
Oh yes, I've seen that. I've seen
Yeah.
that. And my last question is going to be, what was your most memorable moment competing at Girls Champs? Starting with Auntie Ruth.
So, I always said I wasn't, when I went to Michael, I found myself. But at Girls Champs in 1968, I came third in the 200 meters. So
Okay.
so that was a, good moment for me.
Auntie Vilma,
My
Girls
most
Champs for St. Andrew High.
Yes, mine would have been the first ever girls' champs for me, and that was in '62, where we were entering girls' champs for the first time. If they did before, there was a lull in 2 years before we started up again. And the reason why is because champs was on one day, and we had to run heat semifinals and finals. And at the end of the day, I fainted because I was tired. And I remember, well, I have a picture of them bringing me a cup of tea, the British, a cup of tea on the track. And The next day when I went back to school, I was a boarder then. I slept for like 2 days. And
Wow.
and after that, they made sure that champs was not over 1 day, but 2 days.
2 days. And now
Yeah.
it moves to 5 days.
That was
Auntie
fun.
Lorna, your best champs moment.
So I never ran at champs.
Okay.
My high school never participated in champs. I
Just
always
like
knew
mine.
I could run. I always knew I could run. I always did well in school sports. But my track and field year started when I got to Michael.
Okay.
That's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Someone said on the live, proud to be a fan of such rich history. Jamaica track and field history is so rich. I don't think some people have any clue.
Understanding.
Some Jamaicans, they don't have a clue how rich our track and field history is, and that is why we are here. And somebody was asking Auntie Ruth if you actually competed with Koch. What's her name? Maria Koch?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. No, somebody on the live was asking.
Yeah.
Yes, she did. She
Yes.
competed with Koch in the 400 meters, and that record still stands. It was what? The East Germans?
East German.
Yeah, I think they have the 800-meter record also.
Boy. And this Olympic Games, they came home with none.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, they have not been
Yes,
too
none, no
dominant
medals
in
at
the
all.
last, yeah, since
Yeah,
this super
it's
century or the 21st century.
Mhm.
since tightening up.
Yes. But ladies, thank you so much for being here. I mean, I am in the company of greatness. I
Yeah.
only read about you people and look at me tonight. But thank you, thank you, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
You're
Thanks for having
welcome.
us. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
All
Have
the
a good
best.
evening, and we will be working
Working
together
together. Yes,
for
yes,
sure.
yes. For
Um,
sure. For sure. Yes.
I,
But
Definitely.
I, I, am,
nice.
I am very sure that this is going to help us to grow, to expand. And I
yeah.
am also sure that we are going to be back to talk about what growth we have made over time
Indeed.
because of your assistance.
Indeed,
Exciting,
indeed,
Right.
exciting,
indeed,
very
indeed.
exciting.
This platform is for you guys. This platform is for track and field Jamaica. You are welcome anytime. And remember now, let us start with the social media setup. I
Yes,
can help you
definitely,
guys. I have
definitely,
someone can help. So
definitely.
thank you very much, ladies. Have
Honored,
a good
right?
night.
Thank
Honored.
you. Nice to meet you.
Same here. Nice to meet you, Auntie Lorna. You're my auntie
Thanks,
now.
thanks, thanks.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. Of course, that was another exciting chat. And of course, it is always about track and field, having three outstanding, brilliant women from Jamaica giving back to the sport that I love and the sport that a lot of us like. And also, I just want to send a shout out to my good friend Aileen Bailey, who will be tying the knot on Saturday. She'll be getting married on Saturday. So, Aileen, big up yourself wherever you are. Aileen is also the face of this platform. So, let us send some love for the outstanding world champion and Olympian Aileen Bailey, who will be tying the knot on Saturday. Join me next week, Thursday, when I will have the outstanding, very technical standout Miss Ethelyn Tate will be in the house next week. Yes, Olympian Ethelyn Tate from formerly of Very Technical will join us next week. And remember, guys, this show was about giving back, and the account information is on the screen. The bank is NCB Halfway Tree. The account number is 3064740073. And please, when you are making your donation, please to put a note that says the fund or the funds is going to Friends of Track and Field. Please Thank you guys very much. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you always. And as I said before, next Thursday, we will have the outstanding Ethelyn Tate in the house giving us her story at Very Technical, her story in college overseas, and also her story as a Jamaican Olympian. I call them Jamaica track and field gems because that's what they are. Thank you guys very much. Have a good night wherever you are coming from, wherever around the world you're coming from. Thank you for being here tonight. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a good evening and have a super weekend and be safe wherever you are. I'm out. And remember, it is hashtag one Jamaica. One Jamaica, one Jamaica. Good night. Thank you for